Today, you probably ate a snack made by Mondelez International, and you didn't even notice. Because Mondelez is everywhere, across more than 150 countries, with roughly $36.4 billion in net revenue in 2024, and about 90,000 employees across 80-plus countries. But here's the twist. Most people still couldn't tell you what Mondelez actually is, or how it was built, or why so many of its biggest brands feel impossible to quit. This is the company that became the global snacks machine, and it didn't start as Mondelez, it started as something else entirely. A long chain of mergers, acquisitions, spin-offs, and strategy. And by the end, it owned the world's most iconic biscuits and chocolate brands. Stay with me, because once you see the timeline, you can't unsee it. Let's start at the beginning. In 1923, a company was founded in New York, National Dairy Products Corporation, founded by Thomas McInerney and Edward Reek, later headquartered in Chicago. It was a dairy conglomerate. But it didn't stay just dairy, because in 1930, it acquired Kraft Cheese Company, and that acquisition laid the groundwork for what would later become the Kraft Foods empire. Fast forward. The story changes tone in 1988-1989, because Kraft became part of a tobacco conglomerate. Philip Morris, now Altria, acquired Kraft, and then merged it with General Foods in 1989. Under Philip Morris, Kraft grew into one of the world's largest food companies. And the snack blueprint kept expanding. Because in 2000, Kraft acquired Nabisco Holdings for $18.9 billion. That single deal pulled in cookie and cracker giants like Oreo and Ritz, brands that would later define Mondelez, and then came a takeover that shook headlines. In 2009-2010, Kraft launched a hostile takeover bid for Cadbury. Cadbury resisted at first, but in January 2010, Cadbury was acquired for about $11.5 billion, roughly $19.5 billion. And suddenly, global chocolate powerhouses like Cadbury Dairy Milk came under the same roof. So by this point, something was happening. Dairy became Kraft. Kraft absorbed Nabisco, then Cadbury, and the snack portfolio was now massive, but the biggest turning point came in 2012. A corporate split. Kraft Foods separated its businesses. North American Grocery Products became Kraft Foods Group, later merged into Kraft Heinz, and the remaining global snack company was renamed Mondelez International. That's the moment the snack company became its own identity. And it kept brands like Oreo, Cadbury, Nabisco, and more. Focused on snacks. Even the name was engineered. Mondelez was coined from the Latin word mundus, meaning world, plus delez, a made-up term suggesting delicious, a global snack identity by design. But the strategy didn't stop with a name. It was about focus, and that meant divesting what didn't fit. In 2014-2015, Mondelez merged its coffee business with Douwe Egberts. In 2015, it formed a joint venture with DE Master Blenders to create Jacobs Douwe Egberts, now JDE Peet's. That effectively spun off coffee brands like Jacobs and Tassimo into a separate company. So, snack focus intensifies. Then came a bold move in 2016. Mondelez attempted to acquire Hershey, a deal worth about $23 billion. It would have made Mondelez the world's largest confectioner, but Hershey's controlling trust rejected the offer, and Mondelez abandoned the bid in August 2016. Still, Mondelez kept expanding, but more selectively. In 2018, it acquired Tate's Bake Shop for about $500 million, a premium cookie brand known for thin, crispy cookies. Tate's joined the lineup as a standalone premium brand, then the 2020s accelerated the acquisition strategy again. In 2022, Mondelez bought Cliff Bar & Company for $2.9 billion. Also in 2022, it purchased Grupo Bimbo's Ricolino candy business in Mexico for $1.3 billion. Doubling Mondelez's size in the Mexican market, strengthening snack bars and confectionery. Then in 2023, it made another major move. It divested its gum business in North America and Europe, including brands like Trident and Dentine, sold to Perfetti Van Mel for $135 billion. Mondelez still retained gum in certain markets outside the US-Europe. And the strategic intent was clear. By 2023, Mondelez stated a goal: derive 90% of revenue from chocolate and biscuits. Chocolate, biscuits, baked snacks, that's the engine. So, what is Mondelez today? An American multinational snack food and beverage company, based in Chicago, Illinois, operating in over 150 countries, one of the world's largest snack companies, with annual revenues around $36 billion, 2024. And it holds major category power. Mondelez holds the #1 global market position in biscuits, and #2 in chocolate by revenue share. Its corporate purpose is summarized as empowering people to snack right, and the company is led by Chairman and CEO Dirk van de Put, appointed in 2017. He succeeded former CEO Irene Rosenfeld. Now let's talk about the brands, because the brands are the real empire. Mondelez's portfolio spans cookies, crackers, chocolate, candy, gum, and more. In biscuits and baked snacks, Oreo, Chips Ahoy, Belvita, Ritz, TUC, Triscuit, Wheat Thins, LU, Cliff Bar, and Tate's Bake Shop. In chocolate and confectionery, Cadbury and Cadbury Dairy Milk, Milka, Toblerone, Côte d'Or, Green and Blacks, Marabou, Freya, Fries, and in some markets, it owns candy brands like Sour Patch Kids and Swedish Fish. In gum and candy, historically, and in certain markets, Trident, Dentine, Chiclets, Stride, Hall's Cough Drops, and there are also beverage and grocery remnants in select regions, Tang powdered beverage, Bournvita chocolate drink, and, in some regions, grocery products like Philadelphia cream cheese. This portfolio includes many billion-dollar brands, and this is how Mondelez maintains a constant presence on shelves worldwide. Its operations span North America, Europe, Latin America, and EMEA, Asia, Middle East and Africa. The headquarters is in Chicago, but it also has major hubs like Zurich, Europe, and Singapore, EMEA, and financially, the scale is enormous. In 2024, Mondelez reported net revenue of about $36.4 billion, operating income of $6.3 billion, total assets of about $68.5 billion, and equity of $26.9 billion. It trades on NASDAQ under ticker MDLZ, and it is ranked on the Fortune 500, for example, 108 in 2021 by revenue. So if Mondelez is so massive, why does it also carry so much controversy? Because a global snack empire isn't only about brands, it's also about supply chains, sourcing, regulators, and public pressure. Let's go through the major challenges. First, deforestation and environmental impact. Mondelez has been scrutinized for sourcing cocoa and palm oil. In 2017, an NGO investigation reported cocoa suppliers for Mondelez and others were farming cocoa illegally within national parks and protected forests in West Africa, contributing to deforestation in Côte d'Ivoire and Ghana. Then in 2018, a Greenpeace report found palm oil suppliers had cleared around 70,000 hectares of rainforest between 2015 and 2017. These revelations pressured Mondelez to strengthen its sustainable sourcing programs. The company said it mapped nearly all cocoa suppliers and pledged to combat deforestation. Second, child labor in the cocoa supply chain. Mondelez has faced allegations of child labor and even child trafficking on cocoa farms. In 2021, former child laborers from Mali filed a class action lawsuit alleging Mondelez and others aided and abetted forced child labor on Ivory Coast cocoa plantations. Mondelez pointed to its Cocoa Life program as a key effort to fight child labor, and it aimed to source 100% of its cocoa via Cocoa Life by 2025. But investigative reporting as recent as 2022 documented ongoing instances of children doing hazardous work on farms tied to Mondelez's cocoa supply. Third, Russia and the Ukraine war. In 2022, after Russia's invasion of Ukraine, Mondelez faced criticism for operations in Russia. Mondelez said it would halt new investments and advertising in Russia, but continue selling existing products. Russia accounted for about 3.5% of revenue, roughly $1 billion. In 2023, Ukraine's National Agency on Corruption Prevention blacklisted Mondelez as an international sponsor of war. This led to boycotts and retailer actions in some countries, and the royal warrant was withdrawn from Cadbury after 170 years. CEO Dirk van de Put also drew controversy in early 2024 by commenting that investors do not morally care about the company's presence in Russia. Fourth, regulatory and antitrust actions. In May 2024, the European Commission fined Mondelez $337.5 million for anti-competitive practices in the EU. Specifically, it was found to have restricted cross-border sales of products between EU countries. Mondelez agreed to settle the charges, and earlier it had also been investigated by the US CFTC in 2015 for alleged manipulation of wheat futures prices. Fifth, product criticism. shrinkflation. Consumers have accused Mondelez of reducing product sizes while maintaining prices. A high-profile example, Toblerone changes in 2023-2024, reducing chocolate per bar and sparking public backlash. And in 2025, Mondelez's Milka brand received the satirical Goldner Windbeutel Award from Foodwatch in Germany for misleading packaging tied to downsizing. So this is the balance Mondelez has to manage: a global snacks focus, a portfolio of iconic brands, and pressure over sourcing, ethics, markets, and consumer trust. But the strategy is consistent: acquire what strengthens the snack engine, divest what distracts from it. Coffee spun off, gum sold in developed markets, premium cookies acquired, snack bars acquired, confectionery expanded in major regions like Mexico. And through it all, the company keeps emphasizing its global snacks focus, because by 2023, it stated the target clearly: 90% of revenue from chocolate and biscuits. So, when people ask, what is Mondelez? The answer is, a global snacks company built from a century-long chain of predecessors, powered by category leaders in biscuits and chocolate, and shaped by acquisitions like Nabisco, Cadbury, Tate's, Cliff Bar, and Ricolino, plus divestitures like coffee and gum, a company with massive reach, massive revenue, and massive scrutiny. And whether you see it as a snack empire, a branding machine, or a controversial giant, one thing is undeniable: Mondelez built a world where snacks are always within reach, and most people never even learned the name behind the shelf. Until now.